I've always said Sims 4 stuff packs are very cash grabby, and expansion packs are often cash grabby and a bit exploitive too, but I actually really like game packs. The great thing about a game pack is that, you know, when you buy an expansion pack, you don't get it for everything that comes in the expansion pack. You usually just like one or two things from it. Whereas game packs take those one or two really cool things that people love and just chuck it into a smaller pack, which is a little bit less money than an expansion pack is, and that's why I really like them. Although unfortunately, Sims 4 game packs are also very hit or miss. Some of them are horrific, other ones are incredible. This video is going to go over every single pack, which ones I think you should get, which ones I think you should avoid. The video will have timestamps, so please don't worry about having to watch the whole thing, just skip to the parts that you want to. And just as a disclaimer, I do not recommend buying any Sims 4 pack unless it's on sale. Game packs can be up to 50% off on sale, but usually they're about 30% off. For build mode and cast players, I've made a little chart simply showing exactly how much cast and how much build stuff is in every single pack. As you can see, they do vary greatly. For example, Dine Out has barely any casts, whereas Jungle Adventures has tons of build stuff. So feel free to pause the video and have a look at this at any time that you like. So Outdoor Retreat is the first ever pack released for The Sims 4. It contains a very small world that you cannot live in. It's a vacation only world. The pack is centered around going camping in a forest area. The pack contains campfires, horseshoe pits, those things that you throw around. It contains tents and a variety of outdoor camping furniture. The pack comes with the ability to stargaze and cloud gaze. It also comes with a herbalism skill, and with it they can identify plants and insects and make remedies such as insect repellent. The pack sounds like a nice idea, but unfortunately I would say that it's very poor value for money, and that's just because it doesn't really come with that much gameplay. The world is very small and you can't live in the world either. It's like, yeah, you can take your Sims camping, but why am I going to do that? What is the reason? It doesn't really have any depth to it at all. When it comes to first in The Sims 4, every kind of first pack, first expansion, first sub pack, first game pack is usually very bad. So because of that, I think regardless of what kind of player that you are, I would personally avoid Outdoor Retreat. The next release pack is The Sims 4 Spa Day. This is a pack about going to a spa. It comes with a wellness skill. You can take yoga classes, meditate, get massages, manicures, pedicures. At a spa, whenever you do a spa thing, it normally results in a moodlet, like a positive moodlet, like inspirational, happy or something. You can't run and own a spa, unfortunately, but you can become a self-employed spa worker working in a spa. It's not, again, really that in-depth. They did actually give the pack a big refresh where they updated it, but still, it's not really that much of an in-depth pack. There's not really much to it, and I don't really think it's that good value for money in terms of gameplay. If you are a builder, The Sims 4 Spa Day has a lot of modern decor. So if you're a builder and you particularly love doing modern builds, then I would definitely say that this game pack is important for doing all the modern stuff, because it's the only real modern one which comes with so much architecture. But if you're not a builder, again, I wouldn't really recommend the pack. The next one is The Sims 4 Dine Out. This pack involves either going to a restaurant or running and owning a restaurant. You can go to restaurants on dates or with friends or with your family, etc. There's not really much gameplay, to be honest. Actually going to a restaurant is just a standard thing. In terms of running and owning a restaurant, it can be quite fun. You can set the uniforms, the menu, the prices. Unfortunately though, you can't actually be a chef, you can't be a waiter, or you can't be a doorman either. The only thing that you can really do is walk around and talk to customers and make sure they're happy. It's really not that in depth, and without mods to make it a lot better, it's pretty lackluster. If you're a PC player, I recommend getting the Dine Out Reloaded mod by Carl's Guides on Patreon. It's completely free. The mod makes it so that you can actually cook in your restaurant or be a waiter or change it to like a fast food style kind of restaurant. It's quite cool. The mod honestly saves this pack for me, and without that mod existing, I would not enjoy the pack. Based on that, I would personally say if you're a PC player and you can get mods, I recommend this pack because I do think it is really fun. If you're unable to get access to mods, I personally just don't think it's worth it. On paper, it's a nice idea. It's just really not that in-depth and a little bit of a disappointing experience. And it's also incredibly buggy and glitchy, like severely buggy and glitchy, and it hardly ever works. Although I will say, if you're a builder, I personally find it really, really fun designing restaurants when I'm building. So if you are a build mode player, then I do actually recommend the pack. The next release pack is The Sims 4 Vampires, the first occult pack for The Sims 4. for. Vampires have all of the different supernatural powers that you would expect. It comes with a brand new world. The world is pretty boring if I'm being brutally honest. The best thing about vampires is that they have this skill tree system, so you don't just get all the abilities at once, you actually have to work for them. I think it's a nice change and gives the game a little bit more challenge. Vampires are actually quite an in-depth occult. I'm not gonna lie, it does get a little bit boring after a while just doing all the magic powers, and all they really do is affect your emotional moodlet buffs. Turn a sim happy, turn a sim inspirational. But like if you just want to play as a vampire for a quirky little bit of fun, like I do admit it is quite a good pack. Also, if you're a builder, this is a fantastic pack for build mode. Comes with tons of Victorian furniture. It also comes with a lot of stuff for community lots too. So if you do like occult packs, I actually recommend this one. The next release pack is The Sims 4 Parenthood. So this is one for a family player. It revolves around looking after children from the perspective of a parent. You have to scold them, praise them, discipline them to encourage certain behaviors and teach life values. As you teach them life values as a toddler, child and teen, they will grow up to have these values in adulthood, and this can affect their behavior, although the effects are relatively small and don't really have much of an impact on gameplay. In terms of build mode, it contains a lot of American suburban style build stuff, which I know a lot of people are into, so if you're a builder you might like it. I wouldn't say the cast is that great. In fact, the cast is probably the weakest thing. The pack is definitely very overpriced, to be honest, for a game pack, but I understand there's a lot of family players out there, so if you do enjoy family gameplay, this is relatively good. Although the pack, I will say, is slightly obsolete as a result of The Sims for high school years, which expands upon some of the gameplay elements of Parenthood a lot more. Also, The Sims 4 Growing Together as well expands on tons of gameplay elements that, to be honest, could have been lumped with Parenthood. So if you own either of those packs, you probably may not even need Parenthood, but for the family player though, if you are looking for a game pack, then this is the game pack for you. The next one is The Sims 4 Jungle Adventure. This pack comes with a vacation world. You cannot live there. It's quite a nice world. It's relatively big for a game pack. The world is just about going traveling, so you go to the place which is inspired by Latin America. There's a culture skill where you can learn the language and the food, etc. The great thing about the pack is that it comes with a cave exploring mechanic where you can explore jungle caves or dungeons and you can find treasures in there. It also comes with an archaeology skill. This pack is actually quite big for a game pack. It does contain a lot of stuff. I mean, nowhere near the amount of stuff you'd find in a pack like The Sims 3 World Adventures, but to Sims 4 standards, I would say it's a pretty rounded game pack. In terms of build mode as well, the build buy is really great in this pack, and I definitely recommend it for the build mode stuff. And to be fair, a lot of the cast is actually not that bad either. If you do like fun little quirky bits of gameplay that deviate from just standard vanilla gameplay life, then I definitely recommend Jungle Adventures. It's one of my favorite packs. The next one is The Sims 4 StrangerVille. This is quite a unique one. It follows a very linear storyline where you live in a desert town named StrangerVille, and all the people there are infected, kind of like zombies. They're possessed, and you basically have to go through this storyline in order to make people not possessed. It's actually quite a fun storyline. A lot of people have criticized it because it's linear, but I honestly don't mind the fact that it's linear. I'm more than happy to play this one again and again and again. It does have replay value. The great thing is as well, you don't actually have to complete the storyline, so it is just an entirely normal world that you can live in if you want to. I will say the build mode stuff is not really that nice, and the cast is pretty horrible too, but if you're a gameplay person, this will definitely change up your game. So I personally really recommend this pack. The next one is Realm of Magic, the second occult game pack. This one is about being a spellcaster, in other words, a witch or a wizard. It comes with cauldron brewing, making potions. It comes with magic brooms, a spell book for different kinds of spells. It comes with wands. It comes with familiars, which are little creatures that follow you around. Spellcasting is like really OP if you like that kind of gameplay. Like you can do basically anything as a spellcaster. The actual build mode stuff is very magical. I would say a lot of it's quite nice, but it is very niche and not everybody would like it. The cast is pretty horrific, as it is with a lot of Sims World packs. In terms of occult packs, this is my personal favorite occult pack just because I think there's a lot to do with it. So if you like occult gameplay, I definitely recommend this one. The next Sims 4 game pack is Star Wars Journey to Batuu. This pack is basically an advertisement for the Batuu area of Disney World. It's basically an exact replica of it. Kind of like StrangerVille, it comes with a linear-ish storyline where you choose one of the factions in the Star Wars universe and you choose to work for them. To be fair, the actual missions themselves are not that bad and they're actually quite fun. The issue is the way the pack has been implemented, it's so isolated and you basically can't build with it. A lot of the casts you can't wear. The world itself is a vacation only world. You can't live there. You know, you do missions with the pack and you earn special currency, Star Wars currency, but you can't really spend that currency on anything other than tools to do more missions. It's just a very strange, isolated experience. It could have been implemented in a way that was good and that actually integrated the core values of The Sims 4, but it basically didn't. And because of that, nothing about it is basically life simulation. It's more so just kind of like a generic Star Wars experience, but with a Sims 4 skin on it. It really doesn't have anything to do with The Sims. It's a shame because it didn't have to be bad, but it is. Therefore, I would avoid this pack totally. The next one is The Sims 4 Dream Home Decorator. This pack comes with an interior decorator active career where your Sims can design builds and rooms for different clients based on their likes and dislikes. It also comes with a ton of build mode stuff. If you are a build player, basically I would just get this pack. The build mode is very IKEA looking, and I know a lot of people really like that style. The actual career itself isn't implemented very well at all. It's a very, very basic career. It often doesn't make much sense. You know, you'll go to a client's house and they'll say, I want you to redecorate my living room, but their specifications are they like mischief, they dislike purple, and they like pop music. And it's like, well, how am I going to design a living room based on that? That's one of the reasons why the pack doesn't really work that well. It's also extremely overpriced for what it is. It doesn't really come with that much, to be honest. It's basically a stuff pack's worth of gameplay. So if you're a builder, I actually recommend this pack. If you're not a builder, I don't recommend it at all. There are plenty of other packs which have fun active careers. This one is just simply terrible value for money. The next release pack is The Sims 4 My Wedding Stories. This pack basically improves weddings because weddings in the base game are broken. So instead of updating the broken product, they decided to upsell another product that somehow happened to be even more broken. That's right, The Sims 4 My Wedding Stories does not work. The actual gameplay element itself seems like a fun idea. You can plan a whole wedding, have lots of different kind of wedding parties, bachelor parties, etc. It comes with tons of wedding build mode stuff and cast stuff. The world itself is Mediterranean inspired and it's incredibly beautiful, one of my favorite worlds in the game. It's just the pack literally does not work. When I say it doesn't work, like imagine putting toast in a toaster and it just doesn't turn on. Like that's basically what the pack is. It doesn't turn on. Every single gameplay element of this pack I've tried to use has either broken or been incredibly unintuitive. It is basically an unfinished product. EA can sue me for saying that, but it's true. It's literally unfinished, and they have not made any efforts to clean up all of the bugs and glitches in the pack, so it's safe to say it's a dead pack. Whether you're build player, cast player, gameplay player, this pack is a 100% avoid. It will ruin your game. The next game pack is The Sims 4 Werewolves. This is the latest release occult pack. Werewolves come with their own section in casts, and just like vampires, they have their own skill tree system. The special thing about werewolves is that they join different packs. There are 2 packs to choose from. You cannot create your own pack, unfortunately. And as you go through the skill tree systems and you work your way up as your rank in the pack, you unlock more abilities. The world itself is actually quite nice looking, but there's nothing to do there. If you're a kind of grungy person, then you'll like the cast in this pack. Is quite grungy. It's like quite gender neutral, the cast. The actual build mode stuff as well is quite grungy and dingy looking. If you like making kind of dingy looking builds, then the pack is very good for you. If you do like occults, I do actually recommend the Werewolves pack. I do actually think it's quite good and probably the most well implemented occult pack in my opinion. So if you like occults, I definitely recommend this one. I hope this video was useful. If you found it useful, you might also enjoy my ultimate guide, which has info on every single pack. It's an hour long, but there are timestamps so you can skip to whatever part you like. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.